What's up, guys? You know what night it is. It is Friday night, cards and cake / bargain bin / whatever rant I want to go on, because apparently I am great at ranting, so much so that my last video has like 80 dislikes, but hopefully none of those are yours. Anyway, I'm going to show you my cake. We're going to go over questions. I got news coming up about a 5,000 subscriber giveaway and a big collaboration I'm in the talks of doing. It's big to me. But it's something that will hopefully benefit you guys because it's a giveaway to you. Before we get in, the last couple of weeks I've been making my own cake, and I've been sharing a little lesson as I've been making these cakes. And based on my upcoming video, which is all about how I go into an investment in terms of what I'm willing to pay for an investment and the formula I use, one of the biggest components with it, as well as everything else that we buy, and we really should buy or should consider when we buy cars and houses and anything else, is opportunity cost. And that's pretty much the concept of, if we have $1,000 to spend, we could spend it on a lot of different things. But when we decide to spend it on that one card or that one vacation or that one piece of jewelry, we're giving up all the other items, everything else that we can have bought with that money. So what I don't have the cake. I didn't want to bake it because it was going to take an hour and I didn't feel like it. I would have rather used my time elsewhere. And I didn't want to go out and get my bougie $19 LA cake. So I went to the grocery store, and it's not exactly cake, but I forgot how much I love donuts. And I am a donut man. Almost fell all over the keyboard. I am a donut man. And I got 3 donuts here and a muffin. And that will be my cheat meal. But for $9 and for 20 minutes of my time, this was a much better investment of my money and time, so I could answer more comments and get back here and shower for once and dig in. So that being said, welcome back. Now let's get to work. What's up, Bobby B? We got Michael Singer in here. Joel, what's up, man? Yeah, dude, what's funny about those Kobe's and Shaqs, and I'll tell you guys this later, I sold 20 of those already. Some of them thanks to you guys. And what's up, Goggin? It's been a while, man. And dude, I sold 5 of those PSA 10 Kobe's for $100 to $110 a piece. And I thought those were going to be $50 or $60 cards. Krispy Kreme, that was my jam. There's one right there in South Tampa. I used to love that one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And what's even worse is now they shut down the gyms. I was driving 35 miles away. It was like an hour drive here in LA to Orange County because they actually had LA Fitnesses open. So I would drive an hour away just to work out for an hour and a half and drive an hour back because it was better than nothing. And now they shut all the gyms down, all the LA Fitnesses in the whole state. So now I'm going to eat all these damn donuts and just feel like hell tomorrow. But what's up, Corey? I'm glad you saw those. By the way, all those cards are on eBay now. Send in an offer. Say you're watching the station, and I'll try and hook you up as best as I can. Let me go over some deals because it's a weird time in sports. We got basketball coming up, and I'm not really seeing many deals in basketball. But let me go over these in the different sports, show you some trends, and then we'll get back to the Q&A and as well as the news I have. So let's see here. How do I do this thing again? It's been a while. All right. So let's start here. And this is the last 30 days in basketball. As you see here, all right, look at what's dropped the most. And the percentages are really low, but Hall of Fame, 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 Hall of Fame. Only 2 players in this bottom 9 that are active. Jaylen Brown, who was discussed a lot in the last couple of weeks. I heard his name a ton. And Nikola Jokic. And so, I mean, right here, you see that Hall of Famers are dropping. Active players, if I go up here, are going up like crazy, which makes total sense. All these guys, let's see, everyone here is active. If I scroll down, active. Tracy McGrady's not. Everyone else is an active player. So what that tells me is give it another couple weeks, maybe a month after Christmas, let's say February. I'd love to see where the Hall of Fame prices are at because I want those Hall of Famers forgotten about in terms of investing in their prices because their prices are dropping now, and I'm sure that's just going to continue. But Christmas may throw that off a bit. As for the last 30 days of actual cards, You see here, dude, I think it's kind of weird that this we have a Kobe Bryant rookie card, one of his lower end ones dropping, but these new cards, 2018 Prism Silver Kobe. Why would anyone choose a 2018 Prism Silver of a Kobe Bryant? And I think that's what we're seeing here as well. Like the LeBron, this was a good one right here because this is actually from his rookie year. That's Tim Duncan, who I can't look at his cards too long or I'll fall asleep. But look at this, LeBron James 2019 Optic base. It's his first year in the Laker uniform, but that's not that great overall because look, this last card, $19.72. And if it costs 10 or 12 bucks to get it graded, it's basically nothing. This was the LeBron James rookie year card. And this one looks a lot better to me because this spiked at 860 bucks and the last sale 364. And because it is LeBron from his rookie year, even though it's not like the main rookie card, that would be something I would feel safer about rather than these new cards that are only popular as that set is new. There was a Zion card that dropped, his Silver Prism, but I would ignore this sale because I have no idea what this is. Besides that, you see at the end, Zion starting to go up. So just in the last week, actually 5 days, 854 up to 1,187. So $300 difference just in 5 days for Zion. So something to keep your eye on. For me, I'll probably sell my Zions. And then there was a Jordan card that tanked, but something tells me that is not right because this looks consistent. That looks like Viagra didn't work and he just kind of like fell off the cliff. All right, on to football. And I'll get back to your comments in a section. So I don't know what y'all are talking about. I don't even know if you could see all this. I'm just assuming. Hopefully I'm not rambling and no one's being able to see this. Russell Wilson was the biggest drop in the last 30 days. And I know he had a very up and down season so far. He had like MVP talks and then he had multiple picks and some losses. But when I look at this list, I see a lot of guys that are not established. And then Russell Wilson is the one guy I go, you know what? If he doesn't figure it out this season, he's still Russell Wilson. He'll be back next season. And Jared Stidham's another guy that I go, man, if his prices are like zero, I'll buy because there's a chance that Cam Newton's not looking that great. And the wide receiver core of the Patriots is awful. So it's not like Stidham has all these weapons and he still sucks. Same thing with Cam. If they had better weapons, then maybe they'd be decent. But look at this right here. Jared Stidham, his 2019 Prism PSA 10 last sale was $40. So it doesn't get much lower than that. But this card was at 136. And for Stidham, he's just one of those guys where I just want him to be announced starter. I want him to be traded. I want something like a little window for his cards to spike in price to sell before I actually find out that he sucks. And here's another Stidham. This is his silver. Look at this. Silver PSA 9, $29. Like for me, if you have money to gamble, just in terms of like throw out there, I think Stidham's a decent one to consider just because his prices have gone so low. And then Lamar Jackson, man, look at this. And his wide receiver corp in Baltimore sucks too. So his 2018 PSA 9 Optic, $77. But it's like, look at that. This card was at $260. Lamar Jackson's not bad. He's a great runner. I think he's a good passer. It's just, if you look at the screen here, these are ranking. Look at it. This is ranking the best and worst wide receiver corps in the NFL. And towards the bottom, Baltimore Ravens at 26. And I think Patriots were down here as well. Let's see. Patriots at 30. And that tells me that stuff matters. We got to have receivers in order for the quarterbacks to play because even Tom Brady didn't look that good last year in New England. And so here's another Russell Wilson card, his 2012 Prism rookie. I believe that's his rookie. Yeah, his rookie PSA 10 and $1,200. But this same card just 2 months ago, less than 2 months ago, $2,800, and it's Russell Wilson. He still has years left. He's still a great quarterback. To me, like if I had that money to throw in, the upside of Russell Wilson to me is a lot higher than his downside at $1,235 or so. And then Aaron Rodgers was one other dude. And look at this, 2005 Topps PSA 9. He's actually looked really good this season. And we're talking about $130. at its last sale, but this card was $260, so double the price about 2 months ago. And Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Famer, discount double check, likable dude. So there's that. And then look at this, Topps Chrome. This is Russell Wilson again. Look at this last price. I don't even know if that's real because it's so bad. $197. The one before was $263. I mean, even if it's at $263, that's decent. But this last one, $197 for Russell Wilson, Topps Chrome PSA 9. That's very low. And then baseball, I have no idea who any of these guys are, but these are the guys that have been falling the most the last 30 days. Cody Bellinger, Dustin May, Larry Walker, Clayton Kershaw, blah, 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 blah. I actually expected these percentages to be a lot steeper, but they're not. And these are individual cards. So take a look here. You could always watch this again. If you are investing for baseball next year and you want some guys that have that could have really big drops right now, that you can have some wiggle room in terms of upside. Bellinger, Fernando Tatis, Topps Chrome Pink, Glaybar. Glaybar sounds like a horrible protein bar. Like, I don't want to eat that. Bellinger, Corey Seager, Bellinger, Fernando Tatis, Bellinger, Glaybar. So you see a pattern here. Look these guys up. I'm not going to go into that anymore. I want to head back over here. All right. Oops, I kept that comment up for too long. Sorry. Where are we at? All right. Chocolate frosted, please. Okay, so we got some people checking out my donuts. If you're just hopping on, yeah, it's a donut night. I'll be eating this later. I'll just feel extra fat because I haven't worked out, and so now it's just going to my gut. What's up, Sports Card 753, and of course Jimbo Slice. Let me know which card you ended up getting. I'd love to sell you guys the cards, and we'll do it at a better deal than anyone else, obviously, because I'd rather support you because you guys support me. My eBay, if you search on eBay under Black Mamba HOF, it'll pull up all the cards. The actual username, I'll type it in here, is B to Comer, which is nothing like this, but it's a combination of my first and last name. Dude, what's funny is that dude, that video had a lot of dislikes, a lot of people saying they're unsubscribing. But with that PSA video, I remember looking at it and thinking to myself, do I even want to put this out? Because this is me at my worst. This is me at my most frustrated, my most frustrated at myself, the angriest, all that kind of stuff. And remember that you probably have heard this quote. Girls say it all the time. It's a Marilyn Monroe quote where it's like, if you can't love me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best, or something like that. And I felt like, all right, this is the filter video. If I put this out and you guys can still watch me and appreciate me, then we're good, because that is me at my most frustrated, my rantiest, my angriest, and so that filtered out a lot of people. I felt like that was like you clean a fraternity house floor after a party with the mop. You mop that place, and you just got to squeeze out all that dirty water, and then you got a nice clean mop. So not saying that they're dirty water, just saying like you filter out people that way. What's up, Brian? I hope you're doing well. I haven't heard from you in a bit. Yeah, and I've been selling Kobe cards on CompC as well. So it was weird because I don't know why Kobe's are selling now. I don't know if people are trying to get ahead of it in terms of anything NBA related. Here we go. Dude, I don't have any PSA 6s. I do have a wonderful coaster for my coffee that says PSA 6.5, but it has really good use right now. So none for sale, at least. Okay, good to know. I appreciate it. What's up, MPS Sports 97? I mean, look, Wilson, one thing I like is I like when great players slump, because the good thing is that if it doesn't work out this time, they still have next season. Like, let's say Russell Wilson, he stays in a slump, even for NBA players. Let's say it's Anthony Davis or one of these guys. They slump for a while, and let's say just they have a bad season. But next season there's still going to be hype. Are they going to turn it around? It's not like a player that hasn't proven to be great before. So even Drew Brees, I don't know about Drew Brees for this season, but Drew Brees for next season, that's going to be an easy one. Dak Prescott, he's not at that level of status of legacy yet, but guys that I know are really good, I will give the benefit of the doubt. Klay Thompson. What's funny is I sold a Klay Thompson card about 2 hours after it was announced about his injury, which is horrendous. That's like Dak Prescott, like just a horrible injury. And it sucks because this is the second year in a row for Klay. But, he's one guy that I'll be like, okay, I know he's going to have twice the amount of injuries that people will be worried about. Will he aggravate them? Will he get a new one? But I've seen him when he's healthy, and at least that gives me confidence to buy Klay when his prices are at their very lowest for next year. And I'd rather buy a player like him at their low than buy a lot of players that are on their way up, but they could just be a flash in the pan. Well, what happened, Brandon, was that, yeah, Joel, absolutely. And what happened is that Russell Wilson had a really great start to the year, and then he had a couple of questionable games where they lost, and he had multiple picks, interceptions, and then it's been okay. It's been kind of good. So he peaked a lot later than Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and the others because he wasn't hyped before the season. When he was on a 3-0, 4-0, I think maybe even 5-0 run with the Seahawks, that's when he saw his spike, and that's when everyone got on Russell Wilson, and then the losses came. So again, it's great stars when they're slumping. That sounds like a great opportunity to buy versus when they're doing their best and their cards are going up 50% every week. So even Lamar Jackson, I don't know what to think of him, but I do believe that his teammates, his offensive weapons will be better in the future. And whether it's too late for this season, he's not washed up. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's washed up by any means. What do we got? Is this a textbook right here? Is this like a textbook copyright right here? Honestly, I've not looked into Cam Reddish. I don't know too much about these guys, but if you're in the comments, let me know your thoughts on Cam Reddish for Zygad 2K and Stidham. I'm telling you, I don't know about this guy. I know his prices are so low that it's like for $100, you can get 10 of his Prism cards. You can get a couple of them graded. It's like, if you have $100 to throw away that you can completely risk losing, I think Stidham's a great option just because no one knows what he is yet. And the only times we saw him is when he's thrown against the Kansas City Chiefs in the fourth quarter with a team that has no offensive weapons. So it's like, okay, we're down 21 points in the fourth quarter against the reigning Super Bowl champs. Show us what you got. That's not really fair. I don't really like Montrezl Harrell. I watched him in the playoffs. I didn't really like him. He looked like a guy that I'd want to have on my team, but I don't know too much about these younger guys. So this will be my first season watching basketball consistently. Besides the playoffs, that was about it. So you guys, I want you to answer Sweaty Rich, Jackson Hayes PSA 10 for 75. And what I like is that you put in the price because just like at the very beginning of this, I said it's all about opportunity cost. It's not the player, it's not the card, it's how much are you paying for it? Because a Patrick Mahomes rookie card or a LeBron James or Ja Morant or whatever rookie card, is it a good deal for how much you're paying? It's not about the card itself, because Patrick Mahomes, before the NFL season started, his cards were so high that even though he looks great and there's a good chance he'll be MVP this year, like a decent chance, his card prices weren't even at the point where they were in August because people were obsessed with, I have to have this card at all costs, rather than what is the price of this card? And if it's $3,000, is this the best use of $3,000? And we got to correlate that. And that will be coming up on my next video. Yeah, and I think that's why Brady struggled as well. Hopefully, I mean, Sam Darnold, haven't seen anything. Drew Lock, haven't seen much there as well. We'll see. That would be interesting. That would be really interesting if Trevor Lawrence goes to the Patriots. And we got to answer there as well. Stay away from baseball pitchers. Yeah. Dude, I appreciate it, Corey. This is my language. It's ranty. It's matter of fact. It's to the point. That's the only way I know how to do it. I don't know when the Kobe documentary is coming out. I was thinking, at first I was thinking, well, maybe it'll come out around his 1 year around Hall of Fame enshrinement, but with NBA season, I don't see that happening. And then in the off season, it goes straight to the Olympics. So I don't think there's any time for them to get the viewership that they would like, even this season or into the Olympics, because the way The Last Dance was so successful was that it was the only thing to watch while we were starved of sports and anything related. So I think knowing that The Last Dance was the thing to watch when basketball was completely halted and there was no other options, my thought is that if they can get it done next year, the Kobe documentary would make sense probably before next season begins, between the Olympics and before next season. That would be my guess. Awesome, man. Well, I hope you do good with them. If not, it's not my fault. It's your fault. I don't have any opinion on Zach LaVine. Let me know what you guys think of him as well. And Roethlisberger as well. Yeah, the Steelers are looking great. That's the question, though. Can they keep it up? Are they really this good, or are they just starting the season this good? So far, they've looked great. I just don't know how collectible Ben Roethlisberger is overall if they slump. If they don't win it all, I don't know who wants a Ben Roethlisberger rookie card so much, just because he's old. I don't know. He's kind of been inconsistent. He's a great player. He'll be a Hall of Famer. But I just don't feel like he has the same collectability as Rodgers or Breeze, but that could just be me. And as for the football market, basically this is the way I interpret it. Quarterbacks are the lead singer of the band. They get all the groupie love. They get all the attention. All the panties are thrown on them. That's like us in the card market, throwing our dollars on them. All the rest of the guys, the tight ends, the wide receivers, the running backs, they are the backup dancers. They are the backup singers. They are the drummers and the guitarists. And they get some love, but usually the panties that land on them are the ones that miss the lead singer. So because running backs have short careers and they have to have the ball handed to them and they have to have a good offensive line, and they get injured a lot, it's a bit tougher. Wide receivers are a bit safer in terms of injuries and longevity, but they still have a lot of hamstring injuries. I think it just kind of sucks that way, because on the offensive side, quarterback gets the ball almost every play, and that's just the way it is. So quarterbacks, it's like if you want to invest in a wide receiver, then maybe you have to get a Prism Silver of that card for it to be $100, but an Optic rookie raw of a quarterback could be the same price. Interesting. What'd you get to do with all that dough? Yes, I am. I know, man. It sucks. And you know what else sucks? I mean, not in like a complaining way, but this little apartment you see here, this was a crash pad before I was looking to rent a nice apartment, like a nice 2-bedroom apartment with my girlfriend. And then COVID happened, lockdown happened. My girlfriend got stuck overseas, and she's still there. Like pretty much 6 months later, she's still stuck overseas because of the borders. And now I'm in this little place, which is like a little cave. And it's the worst place to be trapped in because I don't have a TV. I don't even have a microwave. Like, this is humble living right here. Not complaining because I get to spend more on cards because it's cheap rent. But, it would have been nicer to have a good house or apartment during a lockdown. B.com or BDEC. Oh, shit. There it is. I'm behind on this. Yeah. Oh, by the way, there is a really good card show. Bobby, let me know if this is the once per month one or the once every 2 week one, because I went to the one a month one in Clearwater and saw the hobby box there, Boris, and it was big. It was a good show. So if you guys can make it, definitely. And yes, Brian, time heals these wounds and the wounds of a horrible mistake on my PSA submission. What's up, Chickenhead77? Jared, I'm glad you appreciate it, man. I feel like that video was a lot like olives. You either love olives or you hate olives. No one is neutral about olives. It's either like, oh, man, it's the best taste ever, or it's the most disgusting thing. And that's how it was. Oh, sweet. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, I sent that out today. I have one more of those Ultra PSA 8s. It's a beautiful card overall. It's he's doing like a reverse dunk. Kobe's doing a reverse dunk. But it is what it is. Damn, man. Hey, I don't know about the PSA 8s. I know that the PSA 6 pop gain is from me. PSA 6s and PSA 7s for me for sure. Dude, I'm glad as well, Alex. And again, it's all about, I just want to show you what I got. You know, that's my emotion in the moment. I try to, at the end, say I was upset. I'm not upset at PSA. I'm upset at myself. Let's work with it. That's all I could do. Oh, okay. So let's see. This is a good, biggest investment miss I've made so far, Jordan, would be when I first started out and I was on Comp C. This was before The Last Dance was airing, and everyone was on Jordan cards and Pippen and then Rodman. And I bought a couple Rodman and Pippen rookie cards on Comp C and sold them for a good profit, like $14 up to 45. And I was really pumped. And so I was thinking, well, who else can I invest in? And so I bought 35 Reggie Miller raw rookie cards in hopes that they would all just clear off because of the Bulls players did so well. And I thought, you know what? The Bulls actually faced the Pacers in the semifinals of the 98 playoffs, NBA playoffs. And the Pacers brought the Bulls to 7 games. And I thought they would really pay a lot of attention to that series and to Reggie Miller. And long story short, I bought them all for really little, like I think $7 on average. And I only sold 3 of them. So I have roughly 30 of them left in Comp C. But I paid so little for them that, you know, it's like $7, $8 a card. But that was something where if I could do it over, I would have used that money towards PSA 9s of Reggie Miller and then sold those, because I had 3 PSA 9s of Reggie Miller and sold those for 3 times what I paid. It was about $50 what I paid, $150 is what I sold. So the learning lesson for me is that when you're unsure of what the demand will be in terms of how many people will really grab them, go with a much more desirable card. So even the raw rookie card of Reggie Miller, which is only one of, there's so many printed, because that was like 1988, I believe, or 89, I think 88 though, that if that was the PSA 9 or PSA 10, there would be such a few number of those that I believe those would have sold for a profit and I would have had a return and I could have moved on. But because there's thousands and thousands of the raw ones, it was one of those things where I'm still stuck with them, and I'm sure I could sell them at cost over time, but it was more of a learning lesson there. One, I've not used the PWCC vault yet. If you guys have, let me know, just because I have bought through PWCC, but I had the card shipped to me. It was via an eBay auction, and I couldn't even figure out how to send to the vault. It seemed a bit confusing to me. So it seems like it makes sense because you save on, I think, shipping and maybe taxes, but I haven't used it yet. Optic Jason Tatum PSA 9 for 90. You guys let me know what you think of this. All I would do is I'd look up the prices. So I would have to look up what is Jason Tatum's prices right now. Is 90 towards the bottom? Is it going up? Has it been going up? If the card has been going up for a month straight, then I don't want to pay for a card that was half the price 3 weeks ago. However, if the prices look like it's only a little bit higher than what it was, and you have faith that Jason Tatum's going to have a great season, I would go do it for sure. Anyone signing with the Lakers has that great upside, and Montrez is way better than Kyle Kuzma, because everyone was talking about Kyle Kuzma before the playoffs, and this was before I even started watching basketball again, and I'm like, who the hell is Kyle Kuzma? This guy looks like he's 12 years old. He has like this little baby face, and nothing wrong with that, but I didn't see him play. I didn't see him do good at all. Oh, I appreciate the Michael Singer. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Did they get rid of Dwight Howard? I got to see what's going on. Michael Singer puts goodbye Dwight Howard, bye Donovan Mitchell. I got to go down on the comments here because I'm so far behind. Okay, I'm going to have to check out all of these new signings. It's just such a short offseason that I have no idea. My God, there's so many comments here. Okay, so here is Michael Singer's, because he did the super chat, so I could actually see it. And Hostile Plan, I see a comment down here. They've already mass produced. And that's what scares me about these new cards, is that there are a ton of them being produced, that anything 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16 looks better. And also those years, the players they have like the novelty is worn off. You either know if they're good or bad, but these guys that are 2018, 2019, I mean, if Zion gets injured again, now you have like 100,000 Zion cards out there of a player that's not even that good. How in the world are you going to sell him? So the number of cards being produced really does worry me on these newer guys. And that's why the older rookie cards of guys that are established but still have 3, 4, 5 years left really intrigued me a lot more. Okay, so Dwight Howard signed with Philly. Wow, okay. Yeah, NBA free agent Twitter is melting. Wow, Marc Gasol going to the Lakers. Okay, well, better than Pau Gasol, because Pau Gasol bothered me. Brandon Moreno, are you watching carefully the NBA basketball Hall of Fame class 2021 and investing now? Not for the 2021 class. Honestly, Kobe was the one guy that, for one, I like Kobe. I'm a fan of Kobe. I like looking at his cards. He is going to be in the Hall of Fame. I live in Los Angeles. I see the murals on the walls everywhere I go. People wear the jerseys everywhere. He was the one. But besides that, unlike the other guys going to the Hall of Fame, Kobe has a huge brand and a huge following. He's not just a great player like Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, who else? Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki. Those guys are great players, but no one talks about them because they don't have that global brand that Kobe does. So Kobe was the one guy. But I also feel like a lot of people have already been buying for the Hall of Fame for 2021. I feel like that was it's like a strategy that people catch on very quickly or very early on into getting into this. And I'd be more concerned that if you bought in now, there wouldn't be too much room to go up. There might be, but once the Hall of Fame announcement is over, and maybe that's not even the peak, maybe this is the peak. But then what? Now you have a card that there's no reason for a Dirk Nowitzki rookie card to spike ever again that I know of. Maybe he becomes a coach or something like that. But to me, I want, like, just like the Reggie Miller story with The Last Dance, I need multiple reasons in the future rather than just, okay, this one event. I'm counting on this one induction or this one documentary, because if not, then I'm holding onto a card that might trickle up in value in years, but then your money is being tied down with that versus, okay, if it doesn't happen in the next 3 months, in the next 8 months, there's this other event. If it doesn't happen this next 8 months, then in a year and a half. I saw Personal Finance Dad on here as well. I don't know if you're still on here, but I'll be going live on Personal Finance Dad's, aka Dustin, his channel Monday night. So definitely check that out. And right here, Glaber, his prices were low. So anytime it's low, I'm always about looking into buying versus selling, because I never want to sell low. I only want to buy low. Ben Simmons, I was buying a couple Ben Simmons rookie cards and Joel Embiid rookie cards when they were really cheap. I think I got a couple prisms of them each for $30 to $35 because I felt very good about that margin. I was on Comp C, but I like the fact Doc Rivers is in Philly. I like Doc Rivers a lot. That's all of our hopes, is that Panini knows how to balance profits and long-term sustainability. But when all the card shops and all the breakers want these cards, because there's a lot of people participating, it's hard for them to say, no, we don't want to make money. At the same time, what's that balance of, yeah, we want to make money. Yeah, we want this to grow, but we don't want to overflood it and screw ourselves and screw everyone else. So that's what's that's what's interesting. I mean, look, they'll mass produce. I just hope it's not a dangerous level. I just hope it's like produce more without it being ridiculous. As for this, I wanted to list all the cards because besides the induction, the thing is, we're assuming, right? That would be an assumption that his cards would peak at the induction ceremony, Hall of Fame announcement. However, even with The Last Dance, if you guys were collecting and investing back then, the cards spiked about 2 weeks before The Last Dance aired. right? So it actually spiked when most people were thinking about investing for The Last Dance to then sell when The Last Dance aired. And that means that they bought 2 weeks prior at its peak. And then when The Last Dance actually aired, all the hype dissipated. And now they're stuck with the cards at 80% of the value or 75%. So to wait until the second that the Hall of Fame induction ceremony is, and I forgot when they said that was going to be, but that would be assuming that is going to be the peak. And also remember, if there's 1,000 other Kobe investors that think that that's the peak, even if that is the time where a lot of people want to buy Kobe cards, if there's 1,000 other investors that just list their cards at that moment, now that could throw off the balance or throw it off so that it's not the peak, right? If right now I can get $200 for a card and I'm the only one selling it, I might be thinking, all right, well, maybe I wait until later. But if all of a sudden 50 other people put up the same card for auction, even if there is more people looking to buy, there's a chance that they all get bought at a lower price. So, I mean, no matter what, this is just a game of supply and demand. Like what will be in demand and is low supply, right? And what is the time? And that's the fun of the game. But the point is that you never know. We only have ideas, but we also have to factor in the fact that 1,000 other investors could have the exact same idea as us. So if we think that, just know that if 1,000 others think that and they list their cards, then we might be screwing ourselves by not selling now. And also, I just want to sell at a good profit, like no matter what card it is. In terms of all these Kobe cards, I don't mind selling at a bit of a profit on some because I overpaid because I got the express service. And so the ultimate goal would be sell all the cards and break even, or it'd be great if I could make some profit. But if I could sell it to you guys and it's lower than I would like, but it's going to you and you guys already support me, then I would much rather do that because that's like a win-win situation. So if you want any of the cards, just send me an offer on eBay and just say you watch the station. If you don't say you watch the station, I'm probably not going to accept it. If you say, hey, I saw you on YouTube, then I'll definitely want to hook you up. All right, buy Glabar. 2,400 for a Topps rookie. I got to look at the charts, man. I got to look at the charts. If the prices are low, like here's the thing. In fact, maybe I just do this right now, just to show what we got. So if I go here, let's find a Kobe Bryant card. I'm going to find this exact one, and I'll just show you the way I interpret this, because when you get to see all the cards laid out, so let's see, 1996. Everything is relative to everything else I see. So let's see, Topps. Hopefully you guys see this. Hoops, Ultra, Flare, blah, blah, blah. So many cards. Okay, so Topps. I forgot if you said PSA 10. So Topps PSA 10. So this looks like what you're talking about. Overall, I like it. Overall, I mean, this is not, this would have been a better time, but I see it trickling up. So we had 2,200, then 2332, 2424, 2,500. Long term, yeah, I think it's fine. Long term, I don't know if it's going to go up to this point anytime soon. This is $5,000. This was the peak for pretty much everyone. But do I see that a $2,400 card can be $3,400 in the near future? Yeah, if you're good with a 50% profit, I believe at one point it will go up there based on this. When? I don't know. Could it be Hall of Fame? Could it be Christmas? Maybe. But based on this chart, for $2,400, which would be the price about right here, that looks like market value over the last 2 months, with it more than likely going up based on the last couple trends and with us just knowing what's going on. So that's my interpretation, at least. Take it or leave it. All right. Curry to Lakers. Oh, okay, wait. Well, Seth Curry changed teams. I saw that. Man, that would be crazy if Steph Curry went to either the Lakers or the Nets. That'd be insane. I totally could see it, though. Totally could see him going to a new team. And So, okay, hold on a second. Oh, okay. If you're talking about Panini without team logos in baseball, that's definitely a thing because Panini doesn't have the rights in baseball for sure. This is an interesting take right here. I think, well, more is going to be on Steph Curry for sure. But when it comes to making a playoff run, I don't see the Warriors being nearly as dominant because for individual stats, like if Steph Curry wasn't established, I think you have the ball in his hands. He's going to score more, and that would be good. But Steph Curry's already one of the greatest in the league. So he's had his time to be discovered. If this was a player that was on the rise and then the star guy or one of the stars goes out, and then you go from scoring 20 points a game to 28 and becoming a star, that makes sense. But that's going to be a lot on Steph for sure. And as for parallels and serial numbered cards, yeah, for sure. Yeah, scarcity matters. It's just parallels are difficult, man. Parallels with all these ugly colors. Like I look at Prism green, and I look at when I see a Chicago Bull with the Prism green, it looks like one of those ugly Christmas sweaters. You know, I'm like, this is more rare than a silver, yet it looks disgusting. It looks like a freaking ornament. Yeah, exactly. Again, join me and Dustin Monday nights where I get to we get to banter with each other. We get to make fun of each other. Okay, so a couple questions I wanted to show you guys that I got on my website, and I'll just ask you guys, see if you have any responses here. Tom Yu asks, would you talk about basketball autographs or RPA? Which one would you collect and which ones to grade? And I didn't really understand this fully, but I'll show it here. Hold on a second. Nope, wrong one. There we go. Would you talk about basketball autographs or RPA? Which one would you collect and which ones to grade? And I mean, there's nothing too specific here. So my answer would be grade everything that is autographed of a great player or a good player that is in phenomenal condition, because if it's an auto of a decent player or better, it's going to be worth more if you get a 9 or a 10. If it's an RPA, of course, get it graded if it's in great condition. As for collecting is completely up to you. I mean, I would sell everything that I don't love. If I don't love it and I can get a profit, I would sell it so I can scale up to the things I do love, whatever it is. And unless you're talking about holding for later, but like that is just such a general question with what player and how much. Like I need numbers, I need some context as to how much are you paying, what's it worth to you, how many years left in that guy's career, etc. Patrick Johnson, does centering matter on the shield on rookie cards, or should we focus on the sides more? And I didn't even know what the shield meant, but when I went over here, I saw on the blowout forums, they were talking about the shield of the Prism. So that's all I could think of. And basically what I got from that and what I got from my experience was everything matters. Everything matters a ton. If you have coffee breath, brush your teeth. If there is any little thing wrong, if nothing is perfect, you're not going to get a 10. So I would assume everything's got to be flawless to have a chance at a 10. That's my assumption. 9 if everything looks great. Everything looks amazing, it's a 9. And maybe it's a 10 if you get lucky. How do I feel about SGC? I'm all for competition. I'm all for it. One thing I like about PSA is the size of the slab. I like the fact that it's not very big. It's not bulky like BGS. I don't like the red. But SGC, I've bought a few cards from them. I don't really care. It doesn't matter what company emerges as long as they're respected, as long as they grade the cards fairly, they're reputable, and I know I can buy them and sell them without issues. The problem I have with GMA and HMA and CMA awards and all that stuff is I don't know if I could sell the cards. If it's for myself, then that's one thing. But if it's something I'm investing in, I got to make sure that other people respect the company. I would love for SGC to partner with Gary V or some big name, someone in the sports card hobby that could add some reputability or whatever the word is to them, just so that they can be bona fide as like a top dog. Because right now I see it as PSA hands down number one, BGS been there forever but not really is scaling up. Like I've heard that BGS hasn't hired anyone since COVID, while PSA has reported they've hired 86 people since COVID. So they're looking to expand. And SGC, I don't know too much about them. Their slabs look okay. I don't really care for their font that much, but I just want to know that other people respect them. I heard about it. That's crazy. See, that's stuff. That's the stuff that worries me, is the fake slabs. Dude, I'm glad. I wanted that rant to make you guys laugh, because that's all I could do, man, is kind of bitch at my mistake, bitch at the cards, and that's it. Okay, so here we go. I got a good response by Ziggy. eBay name again is B to Commer. I'll put it in the comments. But if you just search Kobe Bryant HOF or Shaq Daddy, if you want a Shaq card, search there. Put in an offer if you like any of the cards, and in the message section say, I watch you on YouTube, and I'll do my best to hook you up. Remember that because of this grading, it's gonna, like, I need 35 per card to break even. And so the 10s obviously will command the most. The 9s, I definitely need a profit. And then the 8s and 7s, obviously I'll take a loss on those, or I'll keep some of them myself. And the Crusade cards, I'm not really putting up there yet. Those are the ones I will save for the last. For sure. And Ziggy, PSA board investing. I did not. I'm going to have to check that out. But I know they invested in a new office space, like a giant new location or headquarters, and they're really scaling up. So it'll be interesting. Honestly, that is an uphill battle. A new grading company, if they offered something, if they had a partnership with Gary V or even Sports Card Investor, and they offered something different, not just the same thing, but offered, this is technology based, this is how we scan it in, and we can go through a lot of them, then they have a chance. But I think it comes down to how well received is it among investors. Because any new company going after these guys that have been around forever, that have earned the reputation that they have, that's an uphill battle. But I wouldn't say it's not a point. I just think you got to really have something unique to offer, because it can't just be cheap. It can't be quick turnaround times. Because if you offer me both of those, the big question I have is, okay, but when I go to sell this card, does anyone know who you are or respect you? If Gary V says, this is my grading card company, I'm fully backing it, all of a sudden, 30% of the whole hobby, 40% now looks at that grading company and thinks a lot higher. This was the answer right here. Buy SGC 10s and cross over to PSA 10. See, that's a good arbitrage opportunity, because if the quality is the same, but the perception of quality is a lot higher with PSA, then it makes sense for sure. All right. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame, because I like Beckett's colorless style, and I like that little, translucent, the little Beckett logo that you can see through, transparent logo, and the fact that they don't have a red border, so it doesn't look ugly with certain cards, but it is a big slab. It's like, I don't know, like a big block of glass. Oh shit, Matthew, are you in Australia? Dude, you don't have to wear, I thought Australians had like the strictest curfews and everything. And dude, soccer cards have been down ever since August. They crashed. And I've had a lot of interesting charts on soccer cards where it just went way down. All the 2014 Prism World Cup, Ronaldo, Messi, who else? Jadon Sancho. I don't watch soccer. I don't follow it, but these are what the chart said. And Kylian Mbappe just went boom. And then they've been flat for about the last 3 months. Dude, dude, it's crazy. My girlfriend's in Germany and they have a 1 hour window in which they can go to the grocery store. And she said you have to write a note on the door saying where you're going and why it's important. Something crazy like that. And here in LA, now we have a 10 o'clock curfew, 10 p.m. So, I mean, oh, no lockdown in Queensland. All right. Do you do Insta sales? Dude, I'm all about saving on fees and groups, but I'm also about saving on time. And eBay is just organized. And like when I was looking at offers and DMs, it takes so much effort just to look at my email because there's so many things going in and out that I'm not even on Instagram really anymore. So it would save me in terms of time and hassle. And in terms of Facebook groups, Ziggy's one guy to talk to on Facebook groups. When I'm at cards that are $300, $400, $500, $1,000, $2,000, then it's well worth it because it's a lot less transactions. So if I only have 5 cards that I want to move, then I'll look at Facebook groups because I know that saving 15% on fees on a $2,000 card is a big deal. But when I have all these lower end cards, the organization that eBay offers makes more sense because if it was Discord here, Facebook group here, Instagram group there, it would just be too much to organize. And I already have a lot of issues with that. CLCT, okay. Ooh, okay. Okay, interesting. So collectors, wait, CLCT is Collectors Universe? Is that what you're talking about? Trey, oh, dude, Trey is like ridiculous. I'll show you this right here. This was in my email newsletter, Anthony. Check this out. This was Trae Young's 2018 Prism PSA 10. This is like the University of Miami, how they do that U with their hands. Look at that. High of looks about $620 matched, just about matched right here, and the season hasn't started. That's crazy. So needless to say, I am not investing in Trae Young right now. Dude, all right, awesome, man. Let me know how long it took. If you got the cards back, let me know how long it took for you to get that done. And yeah, actually, I haven't heard Gary, yeah, right, Uncle Gary, lately either, but that's a good sign because if we can correlate the fact that Gary V not talking about cards softens the prices, we know that he'll talk about cards at some point because that's just the impact he's had. Plus, cards aren't a trend for him. That's something that he actually grew up with, that he loves. It's obvious that Gary V loves cards. It's something he'll do regardless. But if we notice that basketball cards overall go up when he has a couple tea with Gary V's or whatever, then that's great. Let that happen. Sell off those cards. Let him go back to business and the other things that's on his plate, and then go back in. I mean, I love these patterns because it's getting easier and easier to spot when good buying opportunities are. Like when we can go through a whole year and see, okay, right now, it was precisely 2 months after a season ends that it hits the all-time low. If that's something that we can track in all the sports and we go, all right, remember 2 months after the season ends and 3 months before the new season begins, that 1 month is the time to do a lot of our buying, then that's what we do. And I was going to do a video around Halloween. I didn't end up doing it, on how the way I want to invest is a lot like a Halloween costume store, where that one store pops up in October and everyone buys their Halloween costumes for $50 a piece. But when that business ends, then that person, in November, December, January, February, March, they're going around buying all the Halloween costumes on steep discount for $5, $6, getting them from China, whatever. But the whole point is that they're buying when Halloween is the last thing that's on anyone's mind, and they hold it for a couple months and they could sell it for a 10x profit. All right, lots of stuff here. Lots of stuff. Dude, you know what I'd love is I love that. What I love is I'd love for PSA to have different colored borders. All they have to do is just say like red standard or just silver, like just a neutral color or none, just because the red looks great with red cards, Chicago Bulls, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, cards like that. But I don't want a blue or a green or a purple or whatever other color jersey with that. I mean, it doesn't bother everyone, but it kind of bothers me when you're talking about eye appeal. What's up, Silver and Far East? All right, we got Korea in the house. Tampa, go Bucks. Oh my God, $2,000. You're insane. That is crazy. Oh, okay. This was the announcement. I don't know if because I only have a couple minutes left. Okay, so 5,000 subscribers is creeping up, which is just beyond flattering. And I want to do giveaways. And I may have mentioned this earlier in the stream, but I've been talking to Scott of StarStock. And if you guys haven't checked out StarStock, it's a great platform for more short-term investors and gamblers, people that are in fantasy football, that are into basketball, that are looking at certain players and putting in money on certain players rather than a whole array of cards. And I talked to him and I said, look, I'd love to have you back on the show because we didn't really do a first time. We didn't do a stream the first time. We meant to, and I couldn't get this thing running. And so it ended up just being an uploaded video. But I said, look, I want to have you back on. But what if I have you on, not an interview, because you've done several of those. What if I have you on where we can do a card break? Because I'd like to do card breaks from time to time. I talked to Ziggy about it. I talked to Tyler from Sports Card Investor, and I'm talking to a couple card shops where I want to be able to break a few boxes and either do it at cost and just do it for content, for fun, because it is fun. But more than likely, and what I feel even better about is doing it for the standard price that you would pay. Like, you know, they'd say 30% profit margin or 15%, whatever it is, but that going to charity. I think that would be a really cool just situation where it could go towards a certain like Boys and Girls Club or Humane Society or something, underprivileged kids. But then you guys are feeling good about doing the breaks. I feel great about doing the breaks at cost because I'm getting content out there. But anyway, it starts with Scott of StarStock, where we're talking about breaking a box of Mosaic football to you guys. And we haven't figured out who's going to be eligible and who's going to be like, it'll be more of a contest where I'll pick someone from a hat, you know, a random person from a hat, or there'll be like a little trivia thing to get in on the break for free. And then your cards go straight to StarStock, straight to the account there, where it's a win for him. It's a win for you. It's a win for me. It's win all around. So that is something I'm looking forward to. We just got to piece that together. All right. $1 Million Bill, y'all. What song was that? Dollar Dollar Bill, y'all. That was a good song. I forgot who sang that. Dollar Dollar Bill, y'all. Dollar Bill, yeah. I said Dollar Dollar Bill, y'all. Okay. Anyway, I'm not really big into rookies, period. So if you could sell these rookies right now, I just think that is the best way to go. Because even on Comp C, when I looked at some players, when I see their rookie cards, it just is through the roof, and then it just goes way down. And even great players, it's like every great player is going to have their slump. So I know I forgot how to say his name. I know he's the only hockey player I've seen mentioned, Lafreniere. He's basically like the LeBron James, or supposed to be the LeBron James of hockey. And but he's supposed to be. We don't know if he will, or if he is, how long it's going to take. If you get him, my take is always, when there's a lot of hype, I will sell. Even if I'm wrong, I will be right more than I'll be wrong, because when there's a lot of excitement around a new player, how's he going to perform? He's supposed to be the next generational talent. Great. You take that risk, because I won't. And maybe he will be, but any player, including LeBron, including Jordan, including Gretzky, anyone else, they will slump from time to time. I would rather sell them, put my money into some undervalued guys, some second or third year players. Like last season, I bought a lot of Braden Points. He turned out to be a stud for my Lightning. They won the cup. I sold a lot of his cards at a profit, but it was based off of the statistics. I looked at the last 3 years. He was scoring a lot of goals, but he was being overshadowed by Steven Stamkos and Nikita Kucherov. So he was the third highest scorer, but really talented and much younger. So I said, you know what? Let me buy his cards for $15 a piece, raw, Young Guns. And I sold them for about $50. And then the graded PSA 10s I bought for $35 to $45 a piece, sold for about 150 to, I think the highest was about 210 a piece. So again, I'm looking for more proven, but under the radar. What is that balance of you've been in the league, you've proven to be good, and I see you improving. And I think this will be the year with all these other elements in place that you will break out. And worst case scenario, you don't break out, I could probably still sell you at the same price because you're not overrated yet. You're not overly hyped. You're just that guy that's number 3 on the team. That's a good role player. That's putting up points. And if it doesn't happen this year, it could happen next year. Ronaldinho. Okay, this is a good question here. Charts say on injuries. It's interesting because I will have to check out Klay Thompson, for example. But my thought process is that I will check his prices over the next couple months. I expect them to just be low, low, low. And then maybe I think like my thought process is that if you're a basketball card collector or investor only, then the second the season is over and you don't care about football, you don't care about soccer or baseball or hockey, you're already going to next season. So I would think around playoff time is when I would really be interested in Klay Thompson's prices, because I want everyone that's interested in basketball to be on the current season while I'm thinking ahead to the next season. And, that's just my thought process. But the cool thing is that if you guys can just look up one of these players like Klay Thompson and just track his card prices, his prisms over the next 6 months, you'll get to see, okay, it's going down. It's going down a lot. It'll go down a ton, and then it'll trickle, and then wait for it to go either just straight, or when it starts to trickle back up, then you go, okay, it's starting to trickle back up. Will it stay here or will it go down again? But more than likely, it'll just trickle, go back up, and then next season goes back up. The expectations are high. He has to come back. There's no way he'll get another injury, all that kind of stuff. But the goal is always to be right at that sweet spot, and hopefully that's really late, because if you buy too soon, then you lock up your money sooner than you would like, and that you could use that money for other investments and then roll that over again. So instead of guessing when the prices would be their lowest, I'll just look at the charts. Like, I have an idea of what I think, but I need the numbers to back it up, because the numbers don't lie. Damn, no curfew in Brooklyn. Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is I love going to the gym. I love living in California because I get to go outside. But if sports cards can go up in value, or at least the interest can go up, I mean, this is a good use of our time right here. COVID is a hoax. Man, dude, there's so many weird things with COVID. I don't even want to – I just don't know. There's just so many things I've heard, like, I don't even want to open that. But CP3, I think it was Jeff or someone in the Sports Card Investor email said to sell CP3 now. I actually sold Chris Paul Bowman Chrome rookie on Comp C for about $41. I paid $9 for it back in like March or April. But he's old. Like, that's the one thing. He's older, and even though he's great, it'll be interesting. I hope it works out for you too. Appreciate it, man. How do you trade cards? Man, I'm going to get off here in a couple minutes, but trade cards, I have not traded cards in a long time, and I think the best way to go about it would just be in person. But Facebook groups, I'm sure that's decent. It's such a different hobby now. It's not like when I was a kid, I would go to the McDonald's and meet up with another kid that I met off of, like, I don't know, a flyer or not Craigslist, but like a local flyer, something weird like that, or an online forum. And I'd meet up, and his mom would be there and my mom would be there, and they would order McDonald's, and we would trade these $5 cards. But now I don't know if there's a great way to go about it. All right, guys, I'm about to head off. I see a lot of these comments here. If there's any news, I don't think there's any news left, but check out Personal Finance Dad Monday night. I'll be on there answering questions as well. Also, if you have questions I totally missed that as well. If you have questions that you'd like me to look over and perhaps ask to the rest of the community and answer myself, The place to go is the comebackcardinvestor.com / I think it's contact me. Let me see here. Comebackcardinvestor.com / contact me. In fact, I'll share it right here. And I can't guarantee you I will read it, but I appreciate that, Grumpy. There we go. Groups and marketplace. I appreciate that. I got to be able to have my tantrums and rants, but I will be the harshest critic on myself, and I hope that comes across, because that's just the way I am, man. I can be very judgmental and very critical, but it's only because I'm way more critical of myself. So I hope you guys get that. And Ziggy, I appreciate it. Guys, have a phenomenal weekend. Hope to see you with another video before Thanksgiving, but if I don't, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope to see you soon. So have a great night. Time for me to eat some donuts and a muffin. Didn't deserve them, but I'll eat them anyway. Woo-hoo.